Now I'd like to welcome to the microphone the Managing Director of Agri-Futures Australia, MD John Harvey. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Kay. Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack, Minister for Agriculture David Littleproud, Interim Vice Chancellor Professor John Gormov. Welcome, great to have you here on such a beautiful morning, and I'm so proud to be able to show you our facilities here, show you our office, and show you the transformation that we've been through over the last 4.5 years. Deputy Prime Minister, you alluded to the fact that we were based in Canberra and there's not a lot of wheat or cattle in Canberra. We've been out here now 4.5 years. We've put a team together here. And I'm really proud of the fact that the people that actually work in Agri-Futures all have got connections with the land. They all are either living on farms or they come off farms. And I'm very proud of that. And I think it does bring something very special to the organisation. But it's great to have you here on such a beautiful day. Agri-Futures. So Agri-Futures is one of 15 research and development corporations. We work at the RDCs, Research Development Corporations, are a partnership between industry and the federal government. Been around for over 30 years now, been absolutely central to some of the key research that's occurred in the country over that period of time. Agri-Futures, our industries, there's 13 industries that we claim as ours, and that includes industries such as rice, chicken meat, thoroughbreds, export fodder, honeybees, ginger, tea tree oil, pasture seeds, kangaroos, buffaloes, goat fibre, and emus and ostriches. And sometimes people refer to us as the RDC that looks after the small industries, and I just want to put that to bed, because that's a furphy. If you combine the GVPs of those 13 levied industries, it's worth over $4 billion. So it's a pretty substantial part of the agricultural GVP of Australia. We also, in addition to investing in those levied industries, we also invest in research and development to help develop new emerging industries. So some examples, truffles, for example, in West Australia and in Victoria. Hazelnuts is another example of an industry that we've been involved with. And we also play a role in investing in research which goes across the whole of agriculture. So where there are big issues that go across the whole of agriculture, then we'll invest, do some of the de-risking of the research, and then bring in the other RDCs to help co-invest once there's something that we're really clear needs to be invested in and developed. And it's in that context which I wanted to refer to GrowAg, because GrowAg very much fits into that category of an issue that was identified, Minister. It was identified actually by you when you came back from overseas back in 2018. And I remember very clearly you came along to a council meeting of RDCs and you said, along the lines of, I've just been overseas, I've seen the fantastic investment that's going into R&D from the private sector, and we need more of that in Australia. And then maybe not exactly your words, but it were very close. And from there, you actually tasked us to see whether we could go away and help to facilitate some of that interaction and some of those connections. And that was very much on the back of the work that we had already started with Evoke Ag, which is a very large international event that we've held twice now, where we had over 1,500 people come from Australia and around the world, 9 trade missions, about $4 billion worth of managed capital in the room, twice. And on the back of that, I think, Minister, you made it very clear that we need to be doing more of this. So the development from Evoke Ag, which was a 2-day event, to GrowAg, was now that we're open 365 days a year. Anybody can come in, they can see what's happening in Australia any day, any night, and make the connections. And that's the big step forward that I think that we've taken and we're announcing today. So GrowAg has basically 3 functions, and I'm only going to very briefly mention this, but the first function is really important. It's about transparency. It's about being able to see what the RDCs are doing. So you can go into GrowAg now and you can search and you can see all of the projects that all 15 RDCs are doing in the one spot. And you can search on filters, you can search on keywords, and you can see what GRDC is doing, you can see what CRDC, Cotton Research Development Corporation, is doing, you can see what Horticulture Innovation is doing in a particular area. So that's the first functionality, and I think that will be particularly useful for farmers when they're looking at how their levy's been invested and what they're getting in terms of a return on that investment. So all in one spot, first time ever, all in one spot you can search and you can see what all of the RDCs are doing. The second functionality is putting in one spot all of the commercial opportunities that are coming out of that investment that the RDCs have made. So you can go into GrowAg and you can see what are the commercial opportunities. Where is there an opportunity for a private company to invest? To actually, somebody from a private sector in Australia or from overseas come in, invest in a project, partner with an RDC, partner with a research organisation like CSU, and take that technology out to growers, but also take it out to the world and start generating some income and some revenue that we can then reinvest back into more research for Australian farmers. So that's the second functionality, and I'm really excited about that one. That's the one I think, David, which the international players that come to Evoke are most excited about. And I think we've already seen a lot of interest in actually participating in the GrowAg platform. And then finally, the last functionality is really about a who's who, being able to find your way around. And the image I like to paint is, you know, when you could travel, if you arrived at Sydney Airport from San Francisco and you jump off the plane and you're interested in, let's say, robotics, where would you go? How would you know where you needed to go? Do you need to go to Sydney Uni? Do you need to go to Tamworth? Do you need to go to Toowoomba? And now with GrowAg, you've got functionality there. We've got map view. You can actually map out. You can see where the key people are. You can, before you even leave San Francisco, you can look at the map and you can say, well, I clearly need to go to Toowoomba, I need to go to Adelaide, and I need to go to Perth. Right, got my trip planned. I've made contact with the key researchers, so I know who to talk to, and you can plan out your trip. And at the end of the day, it's all about deal flow. So come and do the deal, and then bring that investment and partner with Australia. And I think, Minister, I think that is pretty consistent with your vision, and I think that we've delivered on it, and I'm very proud of where we've got to. Before I finish, there are some acknowledgements I want to make. I firstly want to acknowledge the contribution and the commitment of the other RDCs. We've got a couple here today, absolutely fantastic. This wasn't an easy task, getting all of the projects from all the RDCs in one database, and we've had enormous commitment. We've had enormous commitment from the CEOs of all of the RDCs and also from the staff within those RDCs, so I do want to acknowledge the staff. I also want to acknowledge Kay. Kay's leadership has been unbelievable, and her drive and her passion and her fixed position on what we had to achieve here, and absolutely outstanding. Thank you, Kay. And finally, I want to thank the team here. Unbelievable passion, unbelievable commitment. Under Belle's leadership, just absolutely lined, and went for it and have delivered. And and I know you have had a look, Minister, but the quality of the presentation, the quality of the actual way it's been put together, that dogged determination, fabulous, very, very proud of you. Thank you very much. And can I just say to everyone before I finish, please do me one favour. When you get back to your desk, growag.com, go in and have a look. Thank you.